Hey Daisy, you enjoyed your little walk this morning? All right, time to get some work done.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are back at PTHQ, and there's an order that we have to pull. So it is the phone that I wound up calling the eBay CEO from. Remember that phone? I did it a couple videos back.
Hey, Jamie. Hey, yeah, it's prime time. Hey, yeah, what's going on?
Yep, that phone. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I don't really have a secret eBay bat phone that gets me into the CEO or anyone on the eBay board of directors. I wish they did, but they don't. But this one's been sitting right here, just waiting for it to sell. And it sold today for $40. Mrs. Primetime picked this up at a rummage sale for a couple of dollars, so it's a nice return on investment. Now, this is a modern phone, even though it has a vintage look to it. You could always tell that by exploring the base. The true vintage phones are gonna have a vintage look to it, vintage markings, and sometimes even the year. This one, as you can see, is made in China. I sold my other true rotary phone, not a push button one, but one you actually turn and dial. That one I sold for $95. I highlighted it on my last What Sold video and talked about it a little bit more. If you want to go for more details, check out that video. All right, well, no sooner did I make that sale, but another one just came in. It's actually two toys that sold together in a lot. It's on the same shelf that the phone was at. Right here, you could see this is a Batman Forever toy right here. This one is Two-Face, and then right underneath it, we've got the Riddler. Now, these were made by Kenner, and they're really not worth that much. I sold them for $14.50. I don't have anything invested into them anymore because these came as part of a big toy lot that I purchased a while ago, and these are just kind of the lesser value figures that I've just been trying to get rid of. So individually, believe it or not, this one just doesn't sell, and individually, this one just doesn't sell. In fact, both of them together, and I'm not the only one who's tried to sell both of these together, they haven't really sold. So the only thing you could do in that situation where you have a history of things just not selling is you've just got to lower the price and just get below everybody else. And so that's what I did on these. Someone else had them for like $15.99 or $15.50, so I put them at $14.50, and they wound up selling. And just one last tip related to that. If you don't have anything into items anymore because you already made your money back on the lot, or you source things really low, that's how you could afford to beat everybody else on price. So I just got a message from Dee from over at the Flippin' Particles YouTube channel. I picked her today for the Support That Seller Sunday event in my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. We have over 17,000 members there. If you're not a member, you've got to join, because I pick one member out per week every Sunday, and then we just ask everyone to go buy from that person. So it's only 3:30 in the afternoon, and Dee has already made $650 in sales, shattering her own record and the prior record from last week, which was Farm Girl Scavenger, making over like $560 in sales. So the event just keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger, and we'll see what the final number is at the end of the day. But I might as well just top it off for Dee. I'm gonna give her Subscriber of the Day. Go over and check out her YouTube channel. The link is down below in the description section, as well as to the Facebook group. So definitely go check out Dee. Congratulations, Dee, on an amazing day. Now, let's go over and pick some items that we're gonna get listed. We're gonna grab another one of the photos, and we're gonna grab another one of the posters. So you could see some things behind here that I have never shown you before, Primetime Treasure Headquarters. So I do have a secret refrigerator in there in which I keep all sorts of Mountain Dew and junky food and all sorts of stuff. So maybe I'll show you inside there one day. But anyway, for now, let's go over here and we'll grab another one of these pictures. These all came from the Magician's House. So I listed the one yesterday from Circus World, and this one here Looks like we've got a cool signed one here from a magician, David Jin. A few things that I like about this picture, in addition to it being signed, is that we have a date up top of 1981. So anything that we could date back to the 80s, something cool like this, you know, showing kind of like a little behind the scenes action. We have the guy and the girl, so that also helps, especially if we have like, you know, some legs showing. I mean, that doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt. I'm telling you, it helps out with the sale. So we'll see what happens with this one. Now, let's take a look over here. We still got this little pit of posters to go through. Which one should I pick out? We've got another sealed one here, so let me grab this one, see if we could get any hint on what it is. Oh, Vampirella. I love Vampirella. All right, if you don't know Vampirella, you're about to meet her and find out why she is also one of the legendary lovely ladies. I know Metal Flippin' Mel loves her, so let's go check out what this poster looks like. I have no clue because it's sealed. All right, well, here she is. This is Vampirella. If you've never seen her before, you could easily recognize her by her jet black hair, and she usually wears outfits of red, white, and black on it. Now, this one's not going to be worth as much as your average Vampirella poster because all it is as a headshot. Most people like to buy them when you could see her full body, and she often does not wear a lot of clothes, so that's one of the things that plays into the value. In fact, there's a 1972 door poster of Vampirella that recently sold for $250, and that's a full body shot there. This one, you know, probably goes somewhere between like 10 and 20 bucks. This one comes from 1995, 1996. You could see here, there's an artist signature on it. That's Joe Jusko. You definitely want to be familiar with that one as well because people go after his work, just like the Ramita father and son combo that I talked about in yesterday's video. But Vampirella has been around for quite a while. Since 1969 is when she was first published by Warren Publications in a comic book. And when they went bankrupt, Harris Comics picked them up. You don't often hear of Harris Comics. You're used to Marvel and DC, maybe Image and Dark Horse, but you'll see them around once in a while too, usually in association with Vampirella. So if you're wondering what I put these photos in to protect them, the bags and the boards, right here, this is 100 bags from BCW, their magazine size, and then they sell 100 boards like this. I have affiliate links to these in the description section if you're interested in picking them up. And look who came over to help us out. Daisy. All right, come on, unwrap the poster. Let's go. All right, well, just made another sale, and this one, surprise to me, comes from Dee from the Flippin' Particles YouTube channel that I just mentioned. She's had such a great day during Support That Seller Sunday that she decided to purchase something in the store that she said she's had her eye on for quite a while. It's one of the art prints up top here. Let's see which one it is that she picked. It is right over here. We have got the Wonder Woman art print. Now, I showed this in my video in which I was talking about how to get all of your shipping supplies for free. So go check that one out if you want to learn about free shipping supplies. But the great thing about this, and I'm excited to send this out to Dee, but talking about, you know, buying things in bulk and not having a lot of money or any money into anything after a while, once you've sold off some of the key beginning pieces, I have another one of them right here. So this one's going to go up right after that one. So double your Wonder Woman fun. And I could easily tell them apart because the print signatures are in different colors. So D has the one with the red signature there. But it's great because the listing is already ready. So all I had to do is just snap a few additional photographs, and then that one just goes right up. And it's just a matter of really replacing the photos, and that's it. So thanks very much, D. So Wonder Woman certainly is the classic lovely lady. I was talking about how well I do with selling items related to that theme. Even Pink Panther Checking her out. But anyway, so listen, with comic book related characters, and it's not just women, it's also with men. Certainly there's many women who love Thor, for example, especially in the movies, or Aquaman. I mean, just so I'm going to be equal to both genders here in terms of the appeal that these characters can have. So the thing you need to know is that it's not just comic books, because when I talk about comic books, there's a bunch of people who tell me, listen, I know that you do well in comic books, but I'm not really that interested in that, so I kind of tune out when you talk about it. And I get it. That's why I don't talk about it a ton here. But I want to point out that you do need to know that it's not just comic books, it's comic related collectibles. So think of the two toys that I sold earlier. The Batman ones, the Riddler and Two-Face. Now they didn't sell for a ton of money, but remember, those are just leftovers from a big lot of toys that were comic book related for the most part, and I did make a lot of money off of that lot. Same thing with these art prints. They're pretty much, most of them from the lot that I purchased are comic related art prints. Sell very well. Think of my interview that I did recently with Gem Mint from Gem Mint Collectibles. If you didn't check that out, or his YouTube channel, you have to. This guy makes a fortune selling comic related statues and comic books too, but other things related to it. So definitely learn your characters. The last two videos, I showed two posters with different characters. I showed ones related to Spider-Man, and then I showed X-Men ones. You need to be able to identify them because they're important. If you come across them, you need to say, aha, those are important. Those might have potential value. Let me pick them up. And just as a tip, Wonder Woman has a really, really strong fan base behind her that will pay big time money for things related to her, especially if it's hard to find. So don't just walk by it and say, oh, that's just Wonder Woman, it's probably not worth anything. It really might be. And I mentioned this before in other videos, but this is signed by famous artist George Perez and famous colorist Tom Smith. Okay, so you all know Wonder Woman, but have you heard of Wonder Girl? She's also very important to be familiar with. She came out through DC Comics, first appeared in Wonder Woman. I just sold another art print signed by George Perez and Tom Smith. And that one is right here. It has Wonder Girl in it. You could see her right here in red. And right next to her is another character you should know named Starfire. Now this one sold tonight for $36.75. Again, have nothing into this print right now, so this is all profit minus the shipping. Now I had it up for $42.50. The buyer offered me $30 for it. I countered the buyer halfway, $36.75. What did the buyer do? Instead of taking that deal right off the bat, that buyer tried to get a little bit more off and countered me at $34. What did I do? I declined the offer and sent a little message. What I sent in that message? I said, sorry, but I gave you a great deal the first time around, considering that there's 14 watchers on this print. So what did the buyer then do? Did they walk away from the deal then? Nope. They wrote me right back, sent me an offer for $36.75, and it's sold. So that's what I've talked about in a lot of other videos. Don't be scared to use your decline button as leverage and use your watchers as leverage with the buyer to make the sale. Again, that conveys confidence, and you wind up being the one who has the authority to make the terms of the negotiation when you have that many watchers on an item. Now, I sold another piece today that could be considered a replacement or a replenishable item because I had multiples of these. This is not the only one. This is like the third one that I've had of this. All I had to do is take different pictures because of the signature. But you might not even have to take additional photographs if it's a multiple or replacement / replenishable of items that are identical in every way, shape, and form. Now, in those situations, all you have to do is hit relist or sell similar. But the question I get whenever I say that is, why not just list them all at once in multiples, like say you have 10 or 11 and people just take them down from there? You can do that sometimes. I'll show you an example, but sometimes you don't want to do that because it's not the type of item that people are going to buy more than one of. In those situations, you want to try to create a perception of market scarcity. Let me show you an example of what I mean. This is perfect in terms of an example. It's the Heroes 9/11 commemorative comic book magazine. Now, this one is one that someone's just going to buy one as a collector because they want to have it. They're not going to go and try to buy more than one of them. So, as a result, I just list one, and when it sells, then I go and I list another one, and then I list another one. And how many of these do I have? Well, right now, if you go over here and take a look, you're going to see I've got 23 more of these. How much did I pay for them? 70 cents each. So I've sold a few other ones. So total, it's going to wind up to, over like 250 bucks in gross sales. And then these also I got at that same comic convention, 70 cents each. It's the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 33, relevant because it's the last issue. Now, each one of these I have sold for between $32.50 and $39.99. So these are a real big money maker out of that collection. That's going to come to a total in terms of gross sales of well over $500. So I really made out at that comic convention, doing very, very well on these. But let me show you something. And some of you old school prime timers remember one of the early estate sales that I videotaped where I bought all of these Dynamo laundry cups. These are classic. I sell these for $9.99 a piece. I got this big giant stack. I mean, went all the way up to the ceiling for like a couple bucks. And so I've sold every single one of them except this one. This is one that people, as it turns out, will buy in multiple. So I just put them all up at once at one point. And sometimes people did buy more than one. So that's an example of how you might want to switch it up and do it somewhat differently. Now, I'm going to try to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to try to work in some questions that people have been dropping in the YouTube comment section. So sometimes I answer them there, and sometimes I'm going to try to answer them here as well, so more than one person can see the responses. And so one of the questions that came in from Linda Clark was whether or not it's normal for people to send in questions about an item before they make a purchase. She was worried about if she declined the offer, if she was going to get a ding, quote unquote. You're not going to get a ding for doing anything regarding a decline of an offer. You're totally allowed to do that. Now, I've heard some people say that it can possibly affect you in terms of the eBay algorithm, in terms of where you wind up in search, but I've seen no official verification of that, and I decline stuff all the time, and I have no impact that I could see on my sales. So I doubt that that's actually true, but it's not going to affect you in terms of seller status, in terms of seller ranking. And yes, it is normal for people to sometimes ask questions. So answer the questions, and then, depending on where things go from there, take the offer, see what it says, look it over, and then decide whether or not you want to accept it or not. Next question that came in was from Nelson Hennessy. That is one cool name, Nelson Hennessy. If I ever need a new name one day, I'm going to pick Nelson Hennessy. I love it. He says, what's the name of the comic app that you suggest for looking up comic prices and values? Well, I always say that the best way to come up with the actual market value for a comic book is to do a search on eBay. But if you want to get some basic information about the comic book, certain things that might have happened in it, it's comicspriceguide.com. Comics with an S, priceguide.com. I'm going to put a link to it down below in the description section, so it's permanently there from now on, because I do get that question a lot. And another comment that came in from Stark Raven Wild, another awesome name that I love, was telling me as an update from the postcard that I showed yesterday from the Catskills that motel is actually still there. So that's funny. If you saw that video yesterday, it's still there. And not only that, it has the same exact phone number. The pool is gone that was shown in the postcard. So if someone is interested maybe in the nostalgia from the pool, maybe they would want it for that reason and pick it up. So just some interesting follow-ups. Thanks a lot, everyone, for adjusting to the new format with me. I am enjoying it, doing it this way. So if you enjoy the new format, make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Come onto that Facebook group. Follow me on Instagram @prime_time. _treasure. I'll see you all back at the next video, everyone. Take care.